Start. All right. Now, before we start with the questions, let me get your background down correctly. You were born in Tresnik, Albania, 1927, correct?
It's some mistake about that because after 40 some years, when I returned to Albania, I found 3 birthdays. They used to do to avoid the army recruit.
Huh.
But actually it's 1930,
1930 you were
Yeah.
born. Wow.
February 22nd, 1930.
Hmm. And you escaped Albania in 1950?
In November 13, 1950.
And you went to Greece for 4 years, right?
No, in Greece I spent from November till July. It was 8 months.
8 months in Greece.
Then from there I went to Germany.
Germany.
I volunteered working with the CIA, tried to fight communism.
And then after that, you went to the USA, correct?
I came to USA.
Nice.
After they found out that we had a spy in our company recruiting us. The name was Kim Philby. It's in that book I got there.
May I hold it to the camera?
Yeah. Let me put him on television.
This book, correct?
Kim Philby. He was in charge of CIA training the Albanian. Soon as he put in an airplane to drop behind Iron Curtain by parachute, he called Moscow, and Moscow called Tirana, the capital of Albania, and the Sigurimi was a government agent. They were waiting before, they got caught before they hit the ground. His name is Kim Philby. Everybody should read that one.
All
That's
right.
the whole story.
And I'll ask you some more questions focusing on those in a minute. And then you began doing interpretation work for courts, right?
Well, I've been working in restaurant business more of my life, over 30 years. But I retired very early because I sold the restaurant. Then one day, all of a sudden, I didn't even know, but they called me, they need an interpreter. Where they find the name, I don't know. So I was an interpreter for immigration because that's the time they start Kosovo uprising, and thanked the President, Mr. Clinton. He helped Albanian. Then after that, the communists crumbled in Europe, and the Albanian got liberated without fighting at all. So after 42 years, I went back to Albania, see my family, which I had just one brother. He's here now.
Very good. Is Clinton your favorite president in the United States? Who's your favorite president of the United States?
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower. Why's that?
He is the one. He allowed the refugees escape from Iron Curtain to come to the United States. We couldn't come before. Then, for President Reagan, or any time he was on television talking about communism, he said one word that really thrilled me. Mr. Gorbachev, turn down that Berlin Wall. That's what, as soon as they turned down the Berlin Wall, that was the end of communism.
Very nice. Now I hope you don't mind, but we're going to go a little back to Albania.
Yeah.
What was life like as a child in Albania?
As a child in Albania, I remember, was during the King Zak. There was full democracy. then the Italian invade Albania.
Yeah, fast.
But actually the life was not good, or was not bad. It was very good. The Italians, they didn't do anything to Albania, but the Albanians, they don't want occupation, they want to be on their own.
Right.
That's the reason. But when the communists took over, then us, a family, they call us kulak.
What's that mean?
Kulak is a Russian word that means that landowner will hire some people to cultivate the
Oh.
a little bigger than regular land. And they were the enemy of communism. So we were discriminated. We were not allowed to go in higher school. Just so I went as far as 8th grade.
Oh.
Then some professor, they teach us some college courses, underground school, because we couldn't go any higher education because of the family. They call us reactionary, because we react against the communism. And they confiscate all the land,
They confiscated your land and stuff. Oh.
all the farms,
And farms.
all the animals, all the houses.
So
they-
you did feel oppressed, right?
They displace us, put in different families. So they took everything.
And
They put 2 of my uncles in jail, my father also,
how come?
because they were against communism. They didn't do anything, but they're suspicious,
Oh my gosh.
reactionary.
That's very.
And I remember in 1945, the first election in Albania, we see in a paper there's democracy, you can express your opinion, anything like that. I was not even 15 years old. I was in school in 5th grade, I remember. And I wrote in the wall, "Long live the King of Albania." And that was against the policy.
No one
So
saw
I
it.
got arrested.
Oh, that was very brave though.
But they kept me only 5 days, I remember, in jail. And when they were taking all the old Albania, they fought communism in jail. I remember it was a young officer, communist officer, he called me. He says, "I believe those old people, you know, dress up, real fighters, they fought communism, but you only a child, what did you do?" I refused to answer them, I told them nothing. Oh, he says, "Don't worry about it, sign here and get out of here." He said. So I left, and that was then. After that, I was discriminated a lot in school. I remember they humiliated me a lot of times because of that, because I was in jail. And in town, which is about 100 houses, I could even go straight in the middle of the town without yelling me, "Kulak."
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's 2 names. I was talking to your father. It's a Gulag. The Russians, they use that name. They put them in Siberia, in the camps. But Kulak with a K, that's the farmers, own a little more than regular people. That's all. But the life, after that, from 45 to 50, my life was miserable.
How so? Just because of that, them calling you the discrimination.
Just because they discriminate every family in their own land. That's all, nothing. We didn't do anything to fight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody tried anything? Some people tried like you to write on the board and stuff, right?
On the border,
Oh, some people did react against them though, because they didn't want to be repressed, right?
I can't hear you talking.
Oh, sorry. Some people did try to rebel against the communists though, right?
Yeah,
Like silently, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But when I went in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
that was in a Philby book, we recruited by CIA to parachute behind Iron Curtain. We trained, we were working only 4 hours a day, undercover as a labor company.
Ooh.
So the public would not know there was secret service to fight communism. But after that, they found out they had leak because so many colleagues of mine, they got parachuted in Albania and they got caught. So we know the spy, Kim Philby, as I said before, he trained us, he put him in an airplane, and he called Moscow, Moscow called Tirana, and they were waiting for us. So the American and the English, they were involved in that one. They said, no more, that mission is out completely. So we came free in the United States.
Mm. I got a few more questions about that later. So when the communists took over, were the changes small or did it happen overnight, very quickly?
No, first they were fighting as a guerrilla.
Mm-hmm.
They call them partisans. Well, there was one side there was a nationalist.
Mm-hmm.
There was one side there was a partisan, was there communist. So the English and the American, they took advantage because they were fighting Germany. And they says, anytime a partisan get killed, they save an American soldier. So they supply them. They did supply the nationalists because they didn't do enough fighting. Of course, there was not our war. There was Germany, Italian, and Japan against Russia, United States, and England. It was not our war. If you fought the German, they retaliate. They destroy villages, they kill people, anything. So the nationalists didn't want to fight. But the partisan, they fought on purpose, so the England and the American, they parachute them money, they parachute them supply and everything. So in the end, in 1945, the communists, they covered all the Albanian and they took over the Albanian.
Very cool.
With no fight at all.
Thank you. So, to what extent was your ideology shaped by the government, the media, and what were you exposed to?
What?
So when the communists took over, they tried to deceive many people, correct?
Yeah,
You weren't deceived though, right?
no.
Were many people deceived or fooled?
Deceived or killed.
Yeah.
Well, in my village, 100 houses, two from Barolli family got shot.
Oh.
One supposed to escape, which is not true. And the other one, to humiliate the people of the town, they shot in the middle of the Albanian government agent just to threat the people, not to. And two, by name last Kula from Albanian, they got shot also, for no reason at all.
No reason. So most of the Albanians didn't believe in communism. They just felt oppressed, right?
The Albanian, they didn't believe in
Not at
communism
all.
because traditionally the Albanian, they are very proud
Good.
to be Albanian and to be with their own state as a nationality. Communism is an internationality, so they didn't want. So as I said, they destroyed my family complete. Two of my uncles, I never see them, they die in jail. My father, he spent only 6 months, but he got sick in jail, so they let him out. He died at home in my hand. And completely destroyed my family, wealth and everything.
And also, you were a teacher, right?
I was teacher because that time in a territory which is about 48 villages, they call Devol. There was no school. The most school we had was 8-year school. That's the only one. And they needed it. First, they didn't recruit me because of the record I had. They arrested me. Then after that, somebody told me they need the teachers. Go ahead and apply again. So I applied and I got hired. But I remember every week somebody from Sigurimi, which is the government agent, they come in the town where I was teaching to find out what I was doing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially a couple that I remember, they told them I do a secret meeting with some people in my room where I lived because the light was on all night long. Good thing there were 2 female teachers over there during the winter. They stay in my room and I went staying in my some of my relatives in the town because they had the light on all night long. They thought I was making a meeting against the government, so I was scared.
Of course.
Which is not true. I didn't do anything. That's how is it. So my life was miserable all the time, on the contrary. So after that, we found out in emigres in outside the country, England and American was preparing a camp, which is in Italy, in Greece, in Germany, in the United States, tried to overthrow the government of Enver Hoxha. The propaganda came in Albania, we couldn't wait to be recruited. So that time I decided to escape.
That's what made you
I
escape.
escaped. So I escaped to Greece. And finally I was recruited by CIA and I went to Germany, as I said before.
I got a few questions about your escape too. So, how did you escape?
Well, I remember was the night of November 13 was cold. Some small rivers that were icy. So I went through some town, but when I approached the border, the moonlight was like a sun. Light and everything, so we got scared. So I walked in my elbow knees almost 2 hours to reach the border. So when I went to the border, I had my legs tied in some wires. We heard they got mines in the border, and I got scared. So I told, we were 4 people, I said to back up. We back up. I jumped over the wire, and I went, was nothing, mines at all. So we went to the border through the, and we surrendered to the Greeks army.
Very nice. What did you bring with you?
Pardon me?
What did you bring with you?
I had only one handgun and a hand grenade. That's all I had. Nothing at all.
Oh, how did you get those ammunition?
Was a friend of mine in Albanian, he gave it to me. There was 6 round ammunition in that, but I had only 5.
What did you use the one bullet for?
Nothing at all, I just had here. Maybe if I get caught, probably I will shoot, but who knows what's going to happen. And nothing else.
So you did know the risks that could possibly happen, right?
Huh?
You knew the risks.
I know the what?
The dangers of escaping. The danger. Like you knew.
Escaping, it was very dangerous.
Yeah, of course, you knew the.
They got guards every so many feet apart. They got holes. You ever see that? They catch the animals when they fell down, and they find you over there and they shoot you. And they got mines. So we were scared. But I had to leave because otherwise I was getting arrested again. If they got arrested a second time, that's all they do. They shoot you.
Okay.
They kill you.
So that's what made you want to leave.
Yeah.
Are you sometimes still reminded of the past?
I still dream about that.
What's the dream like?
Yeah.
Just the escaping?
I went 3 times in Albania. The first time I went in, still got time?
Yeah, perfect.
The first time I went in '92, after 42 years. I seen in Albania only a few cars, the capital of Albania. They were poverty. The second, next year, the '93, few more. In '95, there were a lot of cars. The economy was improving.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So when you went into Greece, what was Greece like culturally and politically?
The Greeks, they discriminate against Albanians
Oh, yeah.
because we happen to be Muslim.
Mhm.
And the name, my name is Turkish name, Fahri, it's not Frank. So they found out, we end up in jail. If we are a Christian, if you are a Christian, it's a different story. They put you in hotels, they give you a job, they don't discriminate just because of that. We find out very difficult to live in Greece. It was a camp, they give us 3 times bread. I was happy though, because I was not afraid of a communism.
Good.
But the life was very bad. So thank God CIA recruited us.
All right.
And the Greeks, they still discriminate about Albanian. If you don't change your name to become a Christian name, you can't find a job in Greece. A lot of Albanian in Greece.
But they also, the Greeks don't like the communists also though, right?
They should thank England. They saved from communism. Otherwise, the Greeks, they were more communist than anything in the world.
Mhm. So that's how you got into CIA when you were in Greece. They found you there, right?
Yeah.
And what were you trained for? How did they train you in the CIA?
Well, they trained us to be a good soldier, number one. But for me, I remember 6 of us, they took us in a camp somewhere. I was the only one I spoke German because the other one, they couldn't speak at all. And they trained us 2 kind of rifles. I know one was M1 carabine, the other one was Korean War, the bigger rifle. So they trained us, and I'll explain to them because I spoke pretty good German to my colleagues. I don't know, about 5 or 6 weeks, that's all.
5 or 6. Okay.
And they train us how to jump the ropes, how to jump from parachutes and everything before they landed us in Albania.
And when they landed you in Albania, do you remember seeing any specific atrocities? Any bad things stand out to you the most while you were in Albania?
I didn't land it in Albania.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was lucky enough
Right, right.
that they found a lake there because I was trained to go in Albanian, and they told me I was a squad leader to go there. I don't know why, I was the youngest one. I had some captains, some other teachers and everything. They made me a leader. But right away they found the lake, and the major of the company, he called me one day, he says, we found out there's something wrong. So if they come to recruit you, to send you to Albania, tell them I'm not going till till I asked my leader, whose name was Abbas Kupi that time, and says, don't mention my name, goodbye. So right away they destroy our mission, and thank God we came to the United States.
That's good. You wouldn't want to fight in your own country, right?
I volunteered to fight.
But like you didn't want to go back to Albania to fight, right?
No, I was still wanted to go.
Oh,
I was
you wanted to
single.
free
I
up,
didn't want
right.
nothing to lose.
Yeah,
I was just
true.
anti-communist. I want to fight communism so bad.
And when World War II was coming, did you feel like it was inevitable?
Was what?
It was inevitable. It was gonna happen, no matter what. World War II.
I don't understand that.
Oh, sorry. So you know World War II, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel like it was gonna happen no matter what? It couldn't be avoided?
World War II?
Yeah.
World War II was 12, 13, 14 years old.
Mhm.
I didn't know too much about
Not too
that.
much. All right. Let's see. How did you feel when the war was declared over? Were you very happy?
I was not happy because I heard from from my family what communism was supposed to happen. I knew that right away that they're going to destroy our family. I was not happy at all.
When World War II was over? When it was over, it ended. Like,
In 1945.
yeah. When it was over, they wouldn't destroy anything anymore, right?
Well, in 1945, that's where the communists started really have a deep roots in Albania. That was they started reforming. First,
Oh.
they confiscate all the land. They make a collective, they cooperative, all state-owned, everything, and the people work there. No private
Okay.
enterprise at all.
And you remember the Cold War, right?
I remember the Cold War, yeah.
How has it affected you?
Well, I never believed Russia was using that propaganda. They could never conquer West. They could never fight. They had just to use the propaganda to scare the people and the government. Like they had the atom bomb. Or if they had the atom bomb, the England and the United States, they may have 1,000 times more than they do. Well, they use that as a propaganda to influence the small countries, the uprise to become like Italy. They almost become communism. They should thank the United States and England to protect them. France, the same thing, but only two countries. That's how the communists survive in Albania, because I remember they never use name Russia. They never use communists. They say our ally, Anglo-American. And the people, they like the idea. But the opposite was they were working behind curtain, different story.
And you like America a lot. Everyone does. What do you think of America today? Very good?
Well, it's always room for more freedom. But still, the United States is the top of the world.
Very good.
Yeah, that's all I can say. I'm happy. I work hard, thank God.
How did you feel when you first came to America? Same feeling?
I feel relieved. I still want to go back in Albania, but not that way. I still want to fight communism. So I joined a lot of political parties. We still had the committee, had our newspaper writing against communism and everything. Till the end. And I still do, because I still believe in Albanian it's a little communism. So in the United States they got a law that if the crook steals, you get punished. But if the guy buys stuff from the crook, that's illegal, you still get punished. So the government in Albania, they don't want to give us back the land they confiscate during the communism. I still believe it's a little bit close communism
Uh-oh.
because I got a lot of properties, I got a lot of land under my name. Nothing at all they give us back.
I'll change soon enough. And in general, what would you do differently if you could to change communism yourself? What would you have done to try to stop it? If you
Change the communism?
yeah.
To restore the same government we had before. Even that, if you remember the three leaders, Stalin, Roosevelt, and Churchill, the meeting they had in Yalta, in Black Sea, in one of the vacation they go, they decide after they conquer Germany, all the countries they have the same government they had before the war. But in the end, that was not that done. The communists took half of Europe and they didn't give it the same government. For me, I would give it the same government as a monarchy. That was the only government, they had the state and they had the freedom for Albanian.
And do you have any regrets in your life? Regrets?
Regret?
Yeah. There's some mistakes you made that you wish you could have amended if you knew ahead of time?
Regret, I don't know what the meaning
Oh,
of regret.
Regrets like...
I don't revenge because it's not in my heart, the revenge. All I want to see, my property to return back
yeah,
to me,
it's yours, rightfully yours.
is mine, which I don't want to go back in Albania, I'm here. But at least I give the property or I sell the property to who I want. Not the government to take my property and give it to whoever they want for reasonable of the votes. Because if I say that I want to take the land back, nobody is going to vote for me. It's natural because they want to make a living. But the government should think they repay us. But they don't. They don't involve at all. On top of that, there are a lot of people in outside Albania. None of us was recruited from today's government in Albania to be in an embassy or to be an ambassador, to have a job outside the country, to help the Albanian people. Only them all. What's the reason? They still don't trust us? Or I don't know.
And when you moved to Greece or Germany or USA, you kept your culture, right?
Of course.
Or did you adapt a little? There was going to be some changes, right?
Well, of course, you know, a word they say, if you go to Rome, do like Roman do.
Yeah.
My kids, they all were born here, just like you. Of course, they be Americanized.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just the same, I'm an American citizen. But we still kept the culture,
Very
especially the cooking, which
good. I remember that. You make the yummy bocadillos and
Kurabiye,
korabi.
that's your father said that.
Yeah. Do you have any funny memories? Funny stories? Do you remember anything funny that stands out to you?
Well, funny stories, I don't know, but I remember during the Ayatollah Khomeini crisis, the Channel 3, they came to our mosque and they started asking questions, we Muslims, how come we are against Ayatollah? So The guy, I don't know, somebody must have told him, go ask that guy. He came to me with a microphone and he says, you're Muslim? I said, yes, I am Muslim, proud to be. How come you turn against Ayatollah Khomeini? He's a Muslim. So the God helped me. I don't know how I got the word. I said to him, hold it. I remember the chanter, I don't know his name. I said, how about you? What's your religion? He says, I'm a Catholic. I said, well, so was Hitler and Mussolini. That makes you
Like
bad, just like us? He didn't say nothing. Another word, we had a speech over there that says, how come so many Albanians there in the United States lately? I said, if you think of that United States, you watch Johnny Cash, the famous musician, or Bob Hope, the good comedian, you know that. Well, over in Albanian, it's no hope and no cash.
Mm. Nice. So I know you're anti-communist. Do you see
Very
anything
much.
about them if you had to choose, is there an aspect you like about it at all?
As old as I am, if they recruit anything against communism, I still volunteer, believe me.
There's nothing good about communism, you don't think?
You know, the communism actually, even in China and Russia, they didn't make the communism the way it's supposed to be built. They made the government security force. Communism is an economic system. They found out it doesn't work. I asked your father the other day, I don't know why they call China a communist. It's not a communism, that's a free enterprise and everything. In Albania it was a different story. It was strictly the way Stalin wanted, everything by force. So, the revenge against who? Who are we going to revenge? All those old-timers, they create communism, they're all dead. What do people know about communism? They want to go home, bring a piece of bread to the family, and enjoy them love. But tradition in Albania is very hard to be conquered. Under Turkish Empire, over 400 years, the Albanian tradition still exists, no matter how long the Turks there were in Albania. So they're very proud of themselves. The same thing with us.
Rightfully so. So, like you said, when you were showing me that book, here, I'll bring it.
Yeah.
There are different forms of communisms that are often mistaken. Would you mind explaining to them, the camera?
That's the book they should everybody read it,
Let me just try to
because it's very misunderstood by a lot of people.
zoom in on it. Democracy, capitalism, and communism. Yep.
That's explain everything, the way communism is supposed to be, and the way they says in Albanian government, communist government, they don't like capitalist government. Capitalism is not had nothing to do with the government. It's the free enterprise, it's a private properties and everything. Communism is economic system. It's not the government. But Russia and the beginning China, they made a government system, which is wrong. Everybody should read that one.
Put this back here. And, oh yeah. Also, when you were, sorry, we're gonna go back to Albania.
Yeah.
Did you experience the depression there?
The what?
The Great Depression? That period of time where the economy wasn't very good and many people were poor?
In Albania,
Yeah,
the economy was very bad.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I compare that when I was in Albania in 45 to 50, everybody was working. All the land is calculated. And the people, they had ration control about bread and whatever it is. After 1992, half the Albanian field, they not even cultivated. And the people, they got everything. Why? I heard that when I was in Albania, and the Albanian they got enough land and animals and everything to feed 35 million. The Albanians only 2.5, 3 million population. Now, the economy is getting better,
Yes.
but it's more room for much better, because the people, they don't own anything. Still, the government own it. Actually, the people own it, they cultivate it, but they can't sell it, because nobody wants to buy it anyway. It's somebody's property. The government in Albania now, they should thank Americans and England. They're helping the government to protect from outside, especially Serbs and Greeks, because they want part of Albania. Otherwise, they would be conquered anyway.
And your when you owned your restaurant, of course you met many people, right?
The restaurant?
Yeah, your
Yes.
restaurant. Do you remember any people specifically and what they thought of the government?
Well, we had a problem here. I remember the people that used to come in my restaurant, some Albanian, they're Albanian speaking, but they're not actually Albanian, they are from part of Yugoslavia. We misunderstand the situation, we still do, because they claim that under the pressure of Yugoslavs, Macedonian, they don't have no freedom. They mixed up communism with other nationalities, but they're not aware enough to know the real politics. And they don't have enough schooling to understand what's all about. But we get along with everybody. We got our mosque, that the Albanian from Albania, original there, and another one, I don't know if it's mosque or it's just a club, Macedonian they got, and part of Kosovo and everything. But we get along very, very, very good with all Albanian, traditionally.
Tradition. And back in Albania, when government was in control, what was banned? Did they censor many things, like the pictures, any specific pictures or movies or artwork?
Discrimination you're talking about?
Oh, like, kinda. So they like hide it from the people. They don't want to show people certain things.
Of course, there's a
Yeah.
government control, the strictly of everything. During that, now it's different.
Yeah, no.
Now you can talk everything you want in Albania, except the economy. They still, Europe is helping Albania a lot. I like to see Albania survive with their own cultivating properties they got. That's what I like.
And do you remember Benito Mussolini? Do you remember Benito Mussolini? He was the fascist leader.
Who was that?
Benito Mussolini, leader of the
Benito Mussolini.
Yeah.
Duce, they used to call the Italian mean leader. Duce, Benito Mussolini, the Prime Minister of Italy, the head of fascism.
Yes.
I remember, I was a ballerina, they used to call it, the pioneers, dressed up in Italian uniform, singing Duce Mussolini, and we were forced to do that one. I remember pretty good.
What did people think of him? They really liked him?
Like I said, the Albanians, they're proud
Yes.
to be not invaded by the foreigners. They like to be on their own. For Italy, they didn't do anything at all.
Not really.
Nothing at all. Germany revenged some Albanian because during the surrender, they used to use the Albanian road to go back in Germany. The partisan tried to shoot them to show the American and England they fought the German, but actually they want just show off, nothing to their fight. So the German turned back, their revenge, they burned the town, they killed Albanian, innocent at all. That's all I remember. Otherwise, if they didn't bother German to pass by, the German, they didn't want to do nothing. Matter of fact, Germany helped Albania during the Second World War. The Kosovo and part of Macedonia, they were given to Albanian by German government because they conquered the Europe with no fight, with no losing life at all. I remember I was in school and the map of Albanian came. They used to call the map Albania the king of Europe, or king of Balkan, because we were more than any country, like five countries in Balkan. We were better than all of them that time. Actually, they helped them, but the partisans made it so bad, and the Americans, they thought they fought pro-American in England, but they found out on the end, the partisans, they were communists, they turned against United States and England also.
And thank you. Let's see. Anything else you'd like to say? Or remember?
Nothing at all. More people like you, they ask me again.
Were you interviewed before?
Huh?
Have you been interviewed before? Like, have people asked you questions before me as well?
A lot of people, they didn't write anything. They just, some people that were interested to write a book. Well, it take years to do that. That's why probably they discouraged. They can help anybody write a book, so I can help them about the situation. I was in the United States. The Albania, they had linked with China in 1960. First they had to Yugoslavia, then with Russia, then with China, and then isolated from all the world. Enver Hoxha was the worst dictator in history, not only in Albania, but the whole world. The leader of Enver Hoxha, the leader of Albania. They claim he was sick by suffering. Is a sickness, xenophobia. You ever heard of xenophobia?
I'll look it up.
He's scared of the foreigners.
Oh.
So I heard there's something about that. And that's why they isolate everything.
Fear. Let's see. I had another question. Do you have any wisdom to offer to us as the future generation? Any advice or wisdom you'd like to tell us?
For the future generation?
So we don't make the same mistakes.
Well, was not up to Albania, a little country. It was because the world was divided in two. Big, 3 powers on one side and 3 powers on the other side. And the small countries suffer unexpectedly. They didn't know which way to turn. And that's what, not to make any mistakes, like I was happy to see now lately that China is against the North Korea.
Yeah, they're trying to steal islands.
That's, any stupid government leader can flick just like that and press the button and destroy the half of the world with atom bombs that we got now. They should do something before they do it. And I was happy to hear that China is pro-Western, trying to do something about North Korea. It's the only country that really dictatorship with a real communism, would say, which is economy system, but they cover the strong issue against. What they try to prove today is a real democracy in the whole world, try to cooperate over all the nationality.
Does Kim Jong-un remind you of a dictator? Kim Jong-un, the North Korea leader.
We gotta come a
Oh,
little closer.
sorry. Does Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, remind you of Stalin or Hitler in many
They
ways?
remind me of the leader of Albania,
No, that
the
one.
communist, the Enver Hoxha. It's a strict, I don't know what he tried to prove. Actually, it's a poor country. It's a small country. If United States and England, they can destroy that in 24 hours if they want to. But we're not aggressor, we try to negotiate and everything like that.
Let's see. Good. So how did people express their feelings about Stalin? How did people express their feelings about Stalin? Like if they didn't like him, would
Well,
they?
Stalin, how can I explain to you? The stories are that Stalin, the people, they still talk about Germany, what they did to Jews. But they don't want to talk about Stalin. He killed 40 million his own people. They won't talk about that anymore. They will cover up something. They talk about Germany, 6 million Jews. Of course it's bad thing to hear that. But talk something about Stalin, talk something about communism, the way they work. 40 million his own people
Yeah.
tried to keep the power. Besides, like they did in Albania or Yugoslavia, or every satellite countries they occupied. It was the worst man in the world, the history would remind.
Stalin. Oh, so when were you in Germany again when you went there? What time period was that?
That's Company 4000 they used to call, near Munich. The name is Hohenbrunn. You see, that book is everything. When you read it, you can find
Okay.
out. But it's near Munich in Bavaria area, the American side. Because that time was divided in 4 pieces, the Germany.
When did you hear what they were doing to the Jews?
About the Jews?
Yeah, when did you find out about it?
When I came to the United States, we didn't know anything. Matter of fact, for me, at that time, Hitler was my hero. Because he was the really fighter of the communists. He destroyed twice the communism in Albania. And the people, they were loving that. Yeah. But when I came here, the story became a different when I heard there was liquidated
The
all the
genocide,
Jews.
yeah.
I never heard that when I was in Albania. I heard that when I came to the United States. Then I turned against him.
Changes.
That's just inhuman for him what he did. Yeah.
When you found out he was finally killed, or when you found out he was dead, how did you feel?
Oh, I didn't care about that at all.
No.
That's what he did. I mean, England and the United States made one mistake. They should turn side to the Russia till the Russian was occupied complete. Then they should turn against the Germany and destroy both communism and Nazism same time. But they helped Stalin, and Stalin become betrayed to the American and England, untrusted person. They helped so many million arm and ammunition, tanks, airplane, food for Russian soldiers. The American did that one. And what they got on the end? Half of Europe split in favor of communism. Very two-faced hypocrites.
So, for fun, what would you do for entertainment? What would you do for fun? Just entertainment, pleasure.
What?
What would you do for happiness?
My happiness?
Yeah, what would you do to achieve that, or pleasure?
Well, I'm not looking for a better life. I got a full democracy.
Mm-hmm.
I got good family, wife and kids, and all the relationship. How can I ask for more?
Oh,
My health is complete. Everything the way I want it.
that's good.
I can't ask for anything more.
I don't know if I have any more questions.
Good.
You answered almost all.
I enjoyed it with you too.
Really?
You did a good job.
Oh, thank you. Well, what else can I ask? I want more information, but I don't know what else to ask. Covered a lot.
You- I think you got enough.
You think
What
so?
was how long you kept it? I like to see the.
You want to see the recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we? We're half an hour or 1 hour already?
Well, it's only been an hour.
Been an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty long. That's pretty good. You cover everything. I
Practically.
think you covered everything.
Hmm.
If there is anything missing, you always can call me.
Oh, thank you. What was it? It was about Hitler. Cause I don't know, Hitler's very scary. And today, because we weren't in your time period, we always saw him as very evil. But at one point you guys thought he was good because he fought the communists, right? Yeah. I never thought Hitler was a good person at all.
You're talking about communism.
Yeah. Oh, Hitler. Nazi.
Well, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
The beginning, for me, was a hero because I was fighting communism.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, when I came here, I found out the way I was doing, that's inhuman for me what I did.
So many people.
But to me,
Mhm.
communism is still 100% worse than Nazism. For me, personally, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Because the way the communism worked, it destroyed the human being. Number one, the religion. They destroyed. In 1967, the Albanian government turned against the religion. If you baptize a kid, they will hang you. And he destroyed all the mosques, all the Catholic churches, all the Orthodox churches. We have 3 religions in Albania. But they united, no distinguished between religion. Communism destroyed them all. It's not anything at all to believe.
Oh, in Albania, when the communists were taking over, were the little kids, did they grow up believing in the communists?
The little kids that were trained by the government in school how to spy against the parents. The parents would never dare say anything against the government in front of the kids, because the kids would go in school, tell the teacher, and the parents would suffer. They were trained that way. That was very, very, very difficult for the family to live secretly in Albania.
Oh, those kids.
Yeah.
Mm. Do you remember seeing any horrific things? And do you remember seeing anything? Oh, yeah, you did. Never mind. When they shot people. Sorry, never mind.
No, personally, I didn't see anybody. Because I remember when the First guy was shot in the middle of my village. The government agent took all the people in the middle of Albania and they brought the old guy over there and they shot him in the front of the 3 villages around to humiliate the people. That's the reason the guy didn't do it. He supposedly the government accusing him of paying somebody with a gold to go in the border of Albania and cut the wires of the mines.